15, verse 1 to 8. Join up with the people to MP3 or YouTube channel on the verse. We'd like to suggest 3 questions. Question 1. In verse 3 and 4, and he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father Uzziah had done, except that the high places were not removed. The people still sacrifices and burn the incense on the high places. What is a type of a king was Azariah, the 9th king of Judah, and how should we respond to a godly person like Azariah? Question 2 in verse 5. Then the Lord struck the king so that he was a leper until the day of his death. So he dwelt in an isolated house, and Joseph, the king's son, was over the royal house, judging the people of the land. Why did God strike Azariah, the 9th king of Judah, and what can we learn from him? In verse 19, Paul, king of Assyria, came against the land, and Menahem gave Paul 1,000 talents of silver that his hand might be with him to strengthen the kingdom under his control. What is the side of Jonah, the contemporary prophet, compared with the side of God from here? And what can we learn from here? In the last time, 2 Kings 14:29, so Jeroboam rested with his fathers, the king of Israel. Then Zechariah, his son, reigned in his place. Zechariah, the last generation of Jehu, the 10th king, became the 14th king of Israel. After the death of Solomon, Israel was divided into northern and southern, called as Israel, the first column of the following table, and Judah, the second column of the following table, respectively. In Israel, there were no good kings because they worshipped idols. In this chapter, the north is often shifted to the south and vice versa. That we should concentrate, such as, are we in the north or are we in the south? Also, we should concentrate not to be confused that the same name of different kings was used, as well as a king used 2 names. People note the following. Please note the following italicized names related to this chapter. The AS underlines stand for assassinator to become a king. The bold named kings are in general good king. So you may see over there in chart right here, page 1, page 2. Yeah, you may see also the far right hand, prophets there. So you may see there. First one, in the 27th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Azariah, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, became king. See the Bible table. Azariah, called as Uzziah in verses 13 and 32, was the 9th king of Judah, stated by Isaiah, the contemporary prophet, Isaiah 1:161. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, right, Azariah, right there, Jotham, the Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Isaiah 6:1. In the year our King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Verse 2, he was 60 years old when he became king, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Zechariah of Jerusalem. Verse 3, and he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father Uzziah had done. See the Bible table, Azariah, the ninth king, his father Uzziah, the eighth king, and his grandfather Joashi, the seventh king. All the faiths led to the kings were generally good kings to obey God. First of all, except that the high places were not removed, the people still sacrificed and burned the incense on the high places. All the three kings did not worship idols on the high places, but they allowed the people to have worshipped idols on the high places. It violated the first commandment of the 10 Commandments, Exodus chapter 23, you shall have no other gods before me. How should we respond to a godly person like a good king, Azariah? Azariah was an instrument of God, but had a sin of non-feasance, not to remove the high places of idols. Azariah was a mere instrument of God. Our Lord is Jesus, the only begotten Son of God, not any humans, Moses, David, Paul, or whoever. So the mere human instrument may help us to understand how we should follow the Lord and how we should not disobey the Lord. Beyond the human failure, we can deny our salvation and take our crosses. Every person calling daily and follow the Lord. Luke chapter 9, 23. Then he said to them all, if anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, follow the law, not any humans, any others. Verse 5, question 2. Then the Lord struck the king so that he was a leper until the day of his death, so he dwelt in an isolated house. Jotham, the king's son, was over the royal house, judging the people of the land. Because of his trial to worship on the sanctuary, which was the holy place in the temple of God in the Old Testament time, every Christian or priest can worship on the sanctuary in the New Testament time. Azariah or Uzziah was punished with leprosy by God. 2 Chronicles 26:18, 1 Peter 2:19. And they withstood King Uzziah, said to him, it is not for you, Uzziah, to burn incense to the Lord, but the priest, the son of Aaron, who were consecrated to burn incense, get out of the sanctuary. For you have trespassed, you shall have no honor from the Lord God. 1 Peter 2:9. But you are a chosen generation, royal priesthood. New Testament, we are all priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. For God's will, the words in the Bible, for God's glory, and the things given by God are considered. Here, the things such as the talents given by God, such as talents given by God, are important factors for God's calling, because with nothing given by God, we could do nothing. Christians may experience heavy laden by endeavoring what we are not called by God. So if a ministry makes you heavy laden, stop it, because it is not by the Spirit, but by flesh. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Jotham, the king's son, over the royal house. Jotham, the they are not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Judah. Yes, in the second Chronicle, verse 7, so Azariah rested with his fathers, and they buried him with his father in the city of David. Then Jotham, his son, reigned in his place. Verse 8, in the 38th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Zechariah, the son of Jeroboam, reigned over Israel in Samaria 6 months. See the Bible table. Zechariah, the 14th king of Israel, for 6 months reign. Verse 9, he did evil in the sight of the Lord as his father had done. He did not depart from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who had made Israel sin. The founder of Israel, Jeroboam's idolatry, 1 Kings 11:26, and 1 Kings 12:31-33. So you may read them. Zechariah, like the other kings of Israel, committed double sin, 2 sins, one for his idolatry and the other for allowing the people to commit idolatry. Amos prophesied against the house of his father Jeroboam. Second, Amos chapter 7:9, the high places of Isaac shall be desolate, and the sanctuaries of Israel shall be laid waste. I will rise with the sword against the house of Jeroboam. Verse 10, then Shallum, the son of Jabesh, conspired against him and struck and killed him in front of the people, and he reigned in his place. Shallum, as assassinated, became the 5th king of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Zechariah, indeed, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. Chronicles about kings of Israel are not discovered by archaeologists yet. Verse 12. This was the word of the Lord which he spoke to Jehu, saying, your son shall sit on the throne of Israel to the 4th generation, and so it was. Through the students of Elisha, God ordained Jehu, the 10th king of Israel, who slayed all Ahab descendants, to last to the 4th generation. Zechariah, the 14th king. 2 Kings chapter 30, right? And the Lord said to Jehu, because you have done well in doing what is right in my sight, and have done to the house of Ahab all that within my heart, your sons shall sit on the throne of Israel to the 4th generation. And the 1 Kings 9:1-3. So who delivered this incarcerated based student of Elijah prophet school. Verse 13. Shallum, the son of Jabesh, became king in the 39th year of Uzziah, king of Judah, and he reigned a full month in Samaria. Shallum, the assassinated, became the 5th king of Israel at the time of the 9th king of Judah, Uzziah or Azariah, in verse 1. Verse 14, for Menahem, the son of Gadi, went down from Tyria, came to Samaria, and struck Shallum, the son of Jabesh, in Samaria, and killed him, and he reigned in his place. Menahem killed Shallum, becoming the 16th king of Israel. 15. Now the rest of the actions, Shallum and the counsel press which he led, indeed they are written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel, not discovered yet. 16. Then from Tyria, Menahem attacked the Tipsha, all who were there. It was a territory because they do not surrender. Therefore, he attacked the older women that who were with the child. He ripped up cruelty. Menahem. Verse 17, in the 39th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Menahem, the son of Gadi, became king of Israel and reigned 10 years in Samaria. At the time of Azariah, Uzziah, the 9th king of Judah, Menahem, 16 kings reigned 10 years in Samaria over Israel. poor king of Assyria came against the land, and Menahem gave Paul 1,000 talented gold money, over silver, that his hand might be with him to strengthen the kingdom under his control. Paul, or Tiglath-Pileser in verse 29 of Assyria, invaded Israel in the first time here, followed the second time invasion at the time of Pekah in verse 29 and the 18th king, and the third time invasion at the time of Hosea the 9th or last king in 722 people across 2 Kings chapter 17 6. Menahem was forced to pay tribute to Assyria in order to strengthen his ruling kingdom of Israel. Jonah, the contemporary prophet, side of Assyrian cruelty against Israel, might have caused it not to believe the word of God, to repent sins and come back to God into Nineveh, the capital city of Assyria, for salvation. But God wants to save even sinners like scarlet or crimson, so that God gave Jesus salvation way to everyone. So we should do in the sight of God or to the Lord after the Spirit. Jonah chapter 1 and 1 to 3. The word of the Lord came to Jonah the son of saying, "Rise, go to Nineveh, the great cities, cry out against it, for the wickedness has come upon people me." But Jonah arose to flee to Tarshish. From the presence of the Lord, he went down to Joppa, found a ship going to Tarshish, that's a Spain area. So he paid the fare and went down into it to go with them to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. John chapter 16. So God loved everyone, so God gave his love to everyone. 1 John 2:2. God gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believed in him should not perish but everlasting. Also, he himself is the propitiation for our sin, sacrifice for our sin, not for ours only, not only our Christian, but also whole world, everyone. Book of Acts chapter 4:19. But Peter, John answered, said to him, whether it is right in the sight of God to listen to you more than to God, you judge. So we should do in the sight of God. Galatians chapter, whatever you do it heartily as to the Lord, is not to man. So right here, headquarters not to deliver the word of God is the warning, pre-warning to Nineveh people, warning Nineveh people for salvation. Then verse 20, Menahem ejected the money from Israel, from all the very wealthy, from each man 50 shekels of silver, to give it the kings over Assyria. So the king of Assyria turned back and did not stay there in the land. Menahem deprived all people's money given to poor king of Assyria. Now the rest of the acts of Menahem and all that he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the king of Israel? So not discovered yet. 22, Menahem rescued with his father, then Pekahiah, the sons went his place. Azariah king of Judah, Pekahiah the son of Benaiah became king of Israel and Samaria, and reigned 2 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not depart from the sin of Jeroboam the son of David the founder, who had made Israel sin. Then Pekah, double sins right here. Then Pekah the son of Lemali, an officer of his conspired against him and killed him in Samaria in the citadel of the king's house, along with Argob and Area, and with him were 50 men of Gilead. He killed him and reigned in his place. Pekah assassinated Pekahiah with co-conspirators, becoming the 18th king of Israel. 26. Now the rest of the acts Pekahiah ordered he did in the book of Chronicles over kings of Israel, not just Kabir. In the 52nd year of Azariah, king of Pekah, the son of Lemah, became king of Israel and Samaria, and reigned 20 years, very long. He did evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not depart from the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, who had made Israel sin. 29. In the days of Pekah, king of Israel, Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, came to Israel, Abel-Bab, Mecca, Kadesh, Hazor, Gilead, Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and he carried them captive to Assyria. Paul, or Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, invaded Israel the second time, kidnapped Israelites to Assyria. At the reign of Pekah, the 18th king of Israel. Then Hosea, the son of Eli, had a conspiracy against Pekah, the son of Lemah, to strike and kill him. So he reigned. So Hosea is the last king. Hosea, last king. So this is assassinate. Now the rest of the act over Pekah and in the book of Chronicles, but this copy 32. In the second year, Pekah, the son of Ramah, Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, began to reign. At the time of death of Uzziah or Azariah, the ninth king, Isaiah prophesied the destruction of Israel, the northern kingdom. Isaiah chapter 6, 1:11. Jotham becomes the 10th king of Judah. Then 34. And he did what was right in the sight of the Lord. He did according to all that his father Uzziah had done. Jotham was a good king like his father, but allowed the people to idolatry on the high place in verse 35. However, the high place would not remove the people still sacrifice and burn the incense on the high place. He built the upper gate of the house of the Lord. 36. Now the rest of the acts of Jotham and all that he did that are not written in the book of Chronicles of kings of Judah. Yes, in the second Chronicles chapter 29, verse 1 to 9, only for kings of Judah. Other chronicles are discovered there for the kings of Israel. 37. In those days, the Lord began to send the raging king of Syria and Pekah, the son of man, against Judah. The allies of Syria, Israel, invaded into Judah, the southern kingdom reign of Jotham, the 10th king of Judah. 36. So Jotham lasted with his father and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, his father. Then Ahaz, his son, reigned in his place. Ahaz, the 11th king of Judah, was an evil king, unlike his father Jotham. But his son Hezekiah, the good king, was coming. So we covered all 3 questions. Let's sing all together the song. Thank you.